Stories of optimism.
There's a lot of good things in here.
Good stories.
This is good. A good story for everybody.
This is a good day for America.
On KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We're also streaming on the Odyssey app. If you do not have that app, well, you know what? You don't get to enjoy great things in this world like kangaroo kicks. And that's sad. So you really ought to go get the Odyssey app right now. AUDACY. Pick that thing up. You listen to all of our great programming on KDAWN, including like the Steve Sanchez show that I produce during the week from 6 to 8 Pacific, and all of our programming on 220 stations. It's pretty awesome. We're also live streaming X, YouTube, Facebook. So look for the Mark Hoke Show. And if you want to get in on the discussion, and I know you're going to want to get in on the discussion, join us on the live stream there at all our socials. Check it out. We'd love to have you saying hi and giving us some input on the show, because we can't do it all here. I mean, we can try. We got some pretty good people here to give you a hand. First, let's bring in from the Wrestling Revolver. Oh, that black hooded figure may be back around again. Maybe maybe it is Phil Stamper. Phil, what's going on?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm feeling better.
Well, that's good.
I was a little gooey yesterday. Actually called off work, and Friday too. I'm starting to get back, but thank you for asking. That's very kind of you, Phil.
No problem.
Yeah, considering you're kind of a mean person, you know, it's don't give me that I guess general manager authority figure. What?
Maybe I should say, what did I do this time?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get a guy in here. Boy, he is an outstanding in real life basketball coach. We don't just call him Coach Rosey for.
Yeah, it ain't a gimmick.
Oh, he is. He's the man. And we want to welcome Coach Rosey, Josh Rosenbaum, into the show. What's up, Coach?
Good to see you, Phil. I think you're a heck of a guy. You tell the truth. You're honest. You're an educator, and let's enjoy our 3-day weekend.
See?
Yeah, lucky you guys.
My school doesn't close for President's Day, so
you go to where you teach. You don't. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Let's also get the haymaker in here. Eric Hay, what's going on, big man?
He's muted. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Let's turn his mic on. That'll help. There we go.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. I have a question for you, Phil. Is it official? Is it official?
What is what official?
Well, Mark said you got GM status, so is it official?
Oh, we'll have to see.
Intrigue from Phil Stamper.
And I'm representing a visionary right here.
Yeah, he's a visionary. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he shows up at WrestleMania. But
maybe hooded.
I think so. You know what? Maybe that's what we should do. We should have the black hooded figure battle royal where everybody comes in those black hooded outfits. We have no idea who wins until the end. I think that would be sensational. Or maybe just when it gets down to the last two, we'll put the hoods. I don't know. We have to figure that out.
I think a 16 Iron Man match at WrestleMania week would be just something I'd like to see in Vegas.
I think that'd be fun too. Sounds like it's going to happen. So, but man, did we have a week in the pro wrestling industry, guys? Holy cow. You know what? I'm gonna save all the chanty stuff and Dave Meltzer and everything for hour number 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save it for hour number 2. we're going to get into all that later. But brace yourself, because it's going to be a hell of a discussion when we continue on with this ice baby stuff. Oy, oy, oy.
Things
But,
to look forward to.
Yeah, I know. It sucks talking about it to a point, because one of the bottom lines is I wish we wouldn't have to be talking about it. We shouldn't have to be talking about it, but we're talking about it. But I'm going to start with what's going on in WWE. They're in a little bit of a panic right now, boys. And I don't know, I'm sure you guys saw this, that they had an all hands on deck meeting earlier this week. They've sold about 40,000 tickets for each night of WrestleMania, which is Legion Stadium. That's about 2/3 ish. It's a lot of tickets not sold, and they don't know what to do. I mean, do you guys remember the movie Miracle? With the U.S. hockey team, and Herb Brooks looks down the bench of the Russian coach when he couldn't figure out how to get the goal to tie the game, and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. The WWE doesn't know what to do about this, guys. They're doing a flash sale right now. You can still get 25% off tickets. I think they're running it through tomorrow. So over the holiday weekend, they decided that, hey, we're gonna cut the ticket prices, which I'm sure everybody else has paid full price is thrilled about. They're also sounds like they're tearing up the plans and trying to change the card, figure out how to handle that. I think there's another issue too, and I'm just wondering if it's our fair city's fault to a point. But this is kind of crazy. I mean, there's still a lot of time, but that is a lot of tickets unsold. Phil, I'll go to you first on the side of the booking.
Mm-hmm.
Is the booking for this bad? Or is it legit that they're changing plans? Because there's a lot of people who are like, look, we made a plan, let's stick to it. What do you think about that aspect of it?
I think they're dealing with 3 layers of things. I think the first layer, of course, is here's the plan that we've had since last year WrestleMania that we're leaning into. The second is, okay, things happen. We have to adjust here and there. We'll ebb and flow. The third is they have a whole other pay-per-view to get to before they get to WrestleMania. And so they're also driving a story that goes into that before we get to Mania. So I'm also cognitive of, there's going to be things that'll happen out of Elimination Chamber that'll then go into what's going to happen at Mania. So I feel like there's a lot of things. I'm not shocked that there would be an all hands on deck meeting because, one, just in general, the ratings are back down again. So okay, we need to figure that out. The conversation about, all right, what are we going to do with the 2/3 only full stadium? All right, well, maybe you should look at your prices. Maybe you should. I mean, this is going to be a bigger piece of the conversation, but this is literally, I think, what we talked about a year ago on this show was that you're trying to get people to come back to Vegas for a premium experience at a very premium price, and it's not affordable for families to go, for a lot of people to attend. So if you want to make it an A-list attendee event, well, you've succeeded, but that means you've eliminated a good chunk of your audience.
Yeah, by the way, in the chat box, TubeMan316 says The Rock's master plan of moving WWE HQ and PC to Vegas could be up in smoke because of the Mania 42 ticket sales issues. So blame The Rock. Ah, that's pretty good, TubeMan.
I hadn't heard the Vegas part.
Oh, I think I got in trouble because I went to WWE and asked them about that because I had an insider tip. Plus I did a little research. And if you remember that story last year where they were talking about having a second performance center here, well, we're literally right across the street from the UFC headquarters. There's a ton of open land over there. There's an office project that was supposed to be twin buildings. They only built one, and there's a lot of open land. The only thing between that plots of land is a tiny little strip mall and a trucking yard between the UFC headquarters and that area. And I got a little birdie told me that when the lease is up, they're coming. Dwayne wants it out here. A lot of Nick Khan wants it out here. They want everything together, and they want it in Vegas. So Yes, that's a legit thing. They won't admit it, but it's a legit thing. Coach, let me go to you. Pricing. I mean, you work with kids all the time. You're around families. Is the pricing of the tickets the biggest problem that WWE's got right now?
I think pricing is a big issue, but for me, going back to the same city twice in a row takes a little bit of the shine off of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to going to New Orleans. That is a city that you can walk not only to the stadium, but you can walk to the convention center. You can walk to every restaurant. And it might not be the most family-friendly Bourbon Street experience, but you can avoid that area and really check out a lot of the history of the city. We have a lot of international people that come to these events, and they appreciate a different venue every year so they can go check out a different part of the United States. So to have it back in Vegas takes a little bit of the shine off of it for me. I like Vegas, but a lot of wives don't like Vegas, and a lot of mothers don't want their kids to be seeing some of the things that you see on the Strip and advertised in Vegas. So for me, the change of venue is also a big consideration.
I'll just take them up to Fremont Street, though. It's nice and family friendly up there. Eric, let me turn this over to you. Is this partially our fault here in Las Vegas? Pricing, hotels, the resort fees, all sorts of issues come up when you come to Vegas right now. I mean, our casinos here are overcharging for everything. They're starting to realize that they've screwed up because overall traffic to the city is down. How much responsibility is this on Las Vegas? Because if the prices were there, I think people would be generally okay with coming back.
I think that's a big issue, especially I work on the Strip. I work at MGM Grand as my regular job outside of the sportsbook job. And 2025, business was very down. And I think a lot of the companies, whether it's MGM, Caesars, anybody else on the Strip, or even the hotels near Allegiant, probably bumping the prices up very, very high because of the one, knowing you have a big event that's going to bring a ton of people here, and the fact that business was down. They're trying to make up for it. I mean, resort fees have gone up since I started working at MGM Grand 2 years ago, from 40 to 45, now 50. I don't know what the other companies are charging, but I mean, they tax hotel rate, tax resort fees. I mean,
parking.
Parking $20 to $25 depending on the time. 50 for events like when SmackDown and Raw are at T-Mobile. New York, Park MGM each charge $50.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've seen parking fees go up to $100. It is nuts.
And who knows what Allegiant charges?
Yeah, well, most of that's one thing about Allegiant Stadium where they put it, because they don't have much parking at the stadium. They are usually let the businesses around them sell their spots. Those spots go from anywhere from about $30 to $100. And that's just to get in the park your car. Much less when you go inside. And they do have the stadium's got a lot of good dining options. It's not cheap, but it's not terrible. But the other issue now, and I think it leans into WWE getting a little greedy. They announced that they have pulled a lot of the rights for venues in the city, bars, restaurants, to show WrestleMania. They pulled them. And these guys are going crazy right now. They're furious, as well they should be. They planned around that. They have also the social calendars, the advertising, everything else, and it's gone. They paid for that. They paid fees, and not to mention their taxes and everything going to our convention bureau here and tourist convention bureau. It is WWE has got a big problem, I think, and I hate to say this, but their egos have gotten inflated over there, and they're trying to be like UFC and think they're the NFL and everything else. But pro wrestling is much more of a family event than I think that they want to let on. UFC is a way different crowd. I mean, do they cross over? Yes, but there's a different aspect to the pro wrestling crowd than there is to the fight crowd. And I think they've forgotten that. You're going to be bringing a family of 4 out here. You want the kids like watching pro wrestling, and to bring them out here and spend all the money that they're asking to spend between going to Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then all the other events that are happening. And you've got WWE World and so much else happening. Man, it's a ton of money. And as opposed to maybe going every year, the way these prices are, you may go once. The cheapest ticket was $725, guys. $725. I just don't know what they're doing.
And $725 for a lot of wrestling fans, that's a week's paycheck. The socioeconomic status of a lot of wrestling fans isn't as high as people that go to boxing matches or UFCs. I understand it's a showcase of the immortals, but $700 would take a lot of food out of a lot of families' mouths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Phil, what do you think?
I mean, absolutely. The pricing is going to be a big issue. I'm more surprised by the pulling of the rights for local entities to showcase it after they paid the fees.
Oh, that's stunning.
According to WrestleNomics, 81% of the traffic that comes in from Mania to Vegas last year was from out of state. So I feel like you're competing against your local fans when the majority of the people coming to WrestleMania are not from your local fan base. Of course, there's still people from Nevada, of course, that are going to go to Mania. Why not? I mean, it's a huge event. But I don't know if that's the right step to take. Now, what is it? Because it's also hard to say, well, how do you discount the flights and the hotels and the food and the experience? It's sort of like, that's a little bit of a harder thing to navigate, but that's going to be a challenge no matter where you go. I think if WrestleMania was back in New York City, it was in New York City in 2019. Well, hotels are super expensive in New York City. Flights are maybe a little cheaper than to go to New York than Vegas, but you can't, as an entity, really fight that in that way. You can figure out what you're going to do with your own ticket prices. I do think they misstepped. I mean, we spoke about this a year ago. We thought they misstepped when they announced that they were going to go back to Vegas. And I think that is some of it. You lose, like you said, lose a little bit of that luster of, oh, this is a special thing this year. I would have loved New Orleans, but okay, that's past. Now it's focused on Vegas. They may have to restructure their crowd, like black out the hard camera side top and bring some people down into the crowd. They may have to do that at this point.
Yeah, it's a fascinating discussion. We'll probably talk about this more when we come back and during the show. Real quick comment in the chat box. Coach Keith Morrison, welcome to the show, sir. The prices for WrestleMania in Philadelphia a few years ago were crazy. Can't imagine how much they are in Las Vegas. Well, yeah, Philly ain't cheap either. That's my old stomping grounds, and Phil, you know that area well. So, yeah, but Vegas. Call me, hit me up on social media at Mark Hoke Show, and if you need any advice on where to stay, where to go, I will help you, because that's what I do. I care. Eric will get you too. So, Coach won't. He wants to take all the money and be greedy.
No, Coach Keith is a well-respected football coach in Philadelphia. He's a Ring Classics member. So,
all right.
I remember him saying how much he had to spend in Philadelphia, and it was astronomical. Prices are going to continue to go up. So wrestling fans, make sure you put a little away each week, because I don't think this is going to change if you are a WWE lifer.
I can't remember if we talked about it on this show or not, that if you look at the price comparison, because people have said, oh, we're not going to go to Saudi next year. We're not going to go to Saudi. And people have started to look at the price. It's cheaper to fly to Saudi than it is for me to go to Vegas. That's insane.
That is insane.
That's crazy.
And
Wow.
and that the ticket prices out there are the way they scoped that Royal Rumble. The ticket prices were so cheap in the American dollar equivalency. Are they going to do that same thing for Mania in Saudi next year? So like, could I go to Saudi and really spend maybe $1,000 where I would have spent $4,000 for Vegas? You know, I'm very curious what that's going to turn out to be like.
Yeah, that is fascinating. I'm curious to see how many Americans are going to go there next year. All right, let's get that break in, because if I don't, well, the station gets mad at me, and that's bad. You know, I had the boss yelling at me at 7:30 last night, so I got to be careful. You know, it's important. But we have a whole lot more coming up on the show. There was an AEW Grand Slam this weekend. We had TNA No Surrender that went on. Janelle Grant is back in the news, and the Dave Meltzer scandal. We'll be right back.
Nevada's essential workers keep our state running. Now, One Nevada Credit Union wants to help you own a piece of the state you support. Eligible home buyers can receive up to $20,000 in down payment assistance to use towards your down payment, closing costs, or eligible loan expenses. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for your next home, if you work in healthcare, education, law enforcement, or construction, this could be your key to home ownership. Don't wait. Visit onenevada.org today.
Membership required. Loans subject to credit approval. Program eligibility and terms apply. Equal housing lender.
Nevada's essential workers keep our state running. Now, One Nevada Credit Union wants to help you own a piece of the state you support. Eligible home buyers can receive up to $20,000 in down payment assistance to use towards your down payment, closing costs, or eligible loan expenses. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for your next home, if you work in healthcare, education, law enforcement, or construction, this could be your key to home ownership. Don't wait. Visit onenevada.org today.
Membership required. Loans subject to credit approval. Program eligibility and terms apply. Equal housing lender.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't
.com/89. Don't wait.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Oh, yeah. We are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. It is the talk of Las Vegas. We are supposedly pro wrestling experts, I guess. I think we can somewhat say that. Really? No, he's, and I guess I ought to, yeah, there we go. You guys want to hop in and agree? Maybe?
Yes.
All right.
Agreed.
Yeah. Phil Stamper, Coach Rosey, Eric Hay in the house. And got some comments in the chat box. I got some new people. I want to welcome them in. Saw Grandmaster Solus. Saw you're live checking it out. So thank you for coming in the house. Do appreciate that.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Let's see. Javon Campbell, one of our favorite listeners here. Local government needs to work with the resorts and cut the price gouging, along with cracking down on Airbnb, talking about having WrestleMania in Las Vegas. The Airbnb situation cuts heavily into the hotel's revenue. I can tell you this. The Airbnb business, they tried shutting that down here in Las Vegas. They don't like that at all. Look, casinos run the show here, fellas. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. So Airbnbs, they don't even want to talk to them. They don't want to even smell them. Just no. So that, but the problem, I don't want to get too much into local Las Vegas politics. Just say that the local government is looking out for getting as much money in events as possible and not thinking about ramifications of things that they do sometimes. They just kind of the way it is, and they're hand in hand with the casino owners. So yeah, good luck on that one. But what else do we have? I saw, I'll come back to that one comment. Let's see. Oh, here's Endeavor is billions of dollars in debt. Endeavor's TKO division, which has UFC and WWE, are the primary reason why they're in major debt. Endeavor has put up UFC and WWE up for sale. Wouldn't that be interesting? Maybe Vince could buy them, Eric. What do you think?
Talk about coming full circle on that one. That would be. Oof.
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I really did.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not the best look for them.
well, let's talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Did someone you guys want to say something real quick?
I think in entertainment for especially last year, it's like anything that comes up. Oh, Saudi Arabia is going to buy it. Like, I feel like I've heard that. You've heard that for Warner Brothers. You've heard that for now WWE. Is WWE up for sale? Like even when you talked about the building, they just built a new building in Stanford. So it's also like they might have some financial obligation that they need to deal with here first before they go over there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Well, let's talk about the other issue that people say is a problem for WrestleMania, and that's just what's on the card. We had some Elimination Chamber matches took place this week. So Randy Orton knocked off Aleister Black and Solo Sikoa. LA Knight beats Austin Theory and Penta. Cody Rhodes beat Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn. That one a lot of people were complaining about because they wanted Jacob to win. Dominic Mysterio is going against Gunther and Javon Evans on Raw. Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, Trick Williams are facing off on SmackDown. That's going to be fun, by the way. Get Trick and Carmelo back in the ring together. The women's so far, it's Tiffany Stratton. She beat Chelsea Green and Lash Legend. Rhea Ripley beats Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile. Alexa Bliss beats Julia and Zelina. And then we got Asuka, Bailey, Natty coming up here shortly, too. And there'll be a couple more. But Elimination Chamber card. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee for the Intercontinental title. CM Punk, Finn Balor, World Heavyweight Championship. I would imagine Punk's going to escape on that because he's planning on taking on Roman Reigns. Is this lead up good enough, guys? I mean, look, we all know pro wrestling fans complain. I mean, not as mean as, not going to say it as mean as Phil Brooks did, but
your buddy
is this lead up good enough? Do we see enough good matches coming our way to entice people? Is WWE right to change things up and say, well, maybe we weren't going the wrong way with they switched up to have Drew win the championship? Coach, what do you think about the lead up so far? And do they need to really do something totally different to get people's attention, or should they just go with what they got?
Well, the stories haven't been very good the last year or so. So to get a dramatic change in the storylines would be, hard to do. This is what we have right now in WWE. Is a lead up great? No, but I find that as we get closer and closer to Mania, things start to heat up a little bit, and people's emotions about the event of WrestleMania occurs. So I'm hoping that it changes. But right now, just as a regular fan, I'm not excited, super excited for WrestleMania. I'll watch it, I'll enjoy it, but there's not like that overarching urge where there's this one huge match that's going to be drawing the world to come watch it. We have a lot of good matches and some mid-level storylines that will hopefully be able to fill up the joint.
Eric, they decided to lean on Reigns and Punk, at least for now. Is that enough?
I mean, that promo that they had on Raw was just phenomenal, and that sold a lot of people, including in the industry, on that match. So I think that match is a huge selling point. After that, though, I mean, obviously you're setting up Drew, Cody, Jacob on the other side, maybe add a fourth for a fatal four-way. I'm not sure. Then the women, the two best storylines going on with the women right now are two tag teams. You have Rhea and Io as the most popular wrestlers in the tag team, and you have Alexa and Charlotte doing great stuff. After that, then what?
Yeah, the women's championship situation. I mean, look, I like Stephanie Vaquer, other than the Devil's Kiss thing.
Your favorite move ever?
No, we're going to talk about one of my favorite moves ever a little later on, by the way, because it occurred in a championship match. But is anybody really excited to see anyone go against Stephanie in this? I mean, I just don't know if the excitement is there. Now we're getting Becky and AJ at Elimination Chamber. I thought that's a WrestleMania match for sure. It may still be. And Jade Cargill has done, she defended against Jordan Grace, but she's done almost nothing with that championship. So I don't know, Phil. I don't know. Oh, Eric, did you have something you want to throw out real quick?
Yes. I was thinking about that whole AJ Becky thing, doing the match Elimination Chamber. I don't see a clean ending to that.
Yeah.
I see Natty and Maxine possibly getting involved to set up maybe a number one contender match to lead to Becky and AJ one-on-one again at Mania.
I would
love or AJ wins or a fatal four-way.
I'd love to see Natty twist Jade Cargill like a pretzel. That would be kind of fun. I don't know if she'd win, but that would be definitely a fun match. Phil, your thoughts, you're in the industry, your thoughts on where this build is going and what do they need to do?
It's interesting you bring up, we talk about Jade, and I think the word on the street from WWE seems to have been that her talent level in the ring is not up to par where it needs to be, but she's entertaining. People are drawn to her. So like, okay, there's something there that you can build around that's going to be less about her acumen in the ring. Because like what you said, you have a Natty who's like, let's see her twist somebody into a pretzel. That's great. I'm all about that. But at the same time, they're also fans that aren't as excited. They don't feed off the energy of a Natty. So it's like, okay, we have to rebalance this somehow. I agree with you that I think I'm curious what they're going to do with Becky Lynch and AJ, because I feel like you're right. It has to lead to something clustery. So then it feels like the big payoff is at Mania, or they're going to lean into the fact that, quote, we need a star-studded names of recognition WWE Mania. And so actually, my brain was going, oh, you put the title on AJ Lee. Well, I don't know. I feel like Becky Lynch and AJ Lee are pretty much on top of the game anyway, from name recognition when it comes to female wrestling in the WWE. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just that. I mean, WrestleMania has changed the course of, it's no longer the end of the year, we're culminating in all of our storylines event. Sometimes it's a launching pad for things. Sometimes it's really about the A-list celebrities they're bringing in to be featured as part of Mania, because it's the celebration of pro wrestling and to get more eyes on the product. So I'm really trying to understand what they're trying to get us to be drawn into. And I think that's the question. Fans aren't really being drawn into.
It's very strange to see them just so not focused and panicking like this. If these reports are true, they're running around like chickens with their head cut off. And usually there's a focus. Now it was easier, for example, with Cody. I mean, that story wrote itself with Cody and the Bloodline. I mean, that was
right.
A perfect storm. But I'm just looking at some of the listed champions right now. Well, we've got Dominic Mysterio. Is that Finn Balor's match at WrestleMania? Probably. That'll be fun once they get to it. The Usos have the tag titles on Raw. Oh, does anybody think there's a team out there that you were like, oh my God, I can't wait to see them wrestle the Usos? No. We don't know who's going against Drew, but that's going to be interesting. Carmelo Hayes, boy, you could do him and Trick and load that up. That would be a fun match. Maybe they're going to be building for that in that one. But yeah, you got Julia, who a lot of people think they're going to have her drop the U.S. title. Tees have the other tag championship. It's just, and even the bottom storylines, there's just so much indecisiveness right now. You can hear my voice when I'm talking about this. I don't know where they're going. You guys don't really know where they're going. So they don't either. It's a mess, Phil.
Like, I'm in my brain, you listed off all these people. I'm like, where's Javon Evans? You spent 30 minutes in the Royal Rumble with him, and he stood out. He climbed up gigantically. Where is he in the conversation? Like, I feel like if the whole purpose of the Rumble was to lead into Mania, then that's where you focus on developing the talent that you want to feed into Mania. And you develop, there was a lot of questions of why certain people weren't included. And, oh no, they looked really bad. Well, you spent a lot of time on Javon Evans, and I don't think he's being talked about as a contender for anything in Mania, because the story he was in this week was really about fixing Chad Gable and El Grande Americano and Second Americano and that mess.
Coach, let me ask you about Cody Rhodes. There's a lot of people were somewhat disappointed that Cody won that match to get in the Elimination Chamber match. Is Cody's time at the top of WWE, at least for now, should it be over? Are people tired of Cody Rhodes?
I'm not. I enjoy Cody. I enjoy what he stands for. He's a baby face I can get into, because most of the time I root for heels. But Cody is a guy that is bringing it. He's great on the mic. I think his entrance is phenomenal, and he gets people fired up for his matches. Do I think he should get the championship back? Probably not. I'd like it to go to a three-way match in WrestleMania with Jacob in there. I think that'd be great, and we'll see what happens. But Cody sells. He's the leader in merch sales. So they got to get him in a prominent position to keep the money coming in.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff going on there with the lead to WrestleMania. Well, we got to get through Elimination Chamber first, and Phil's got to make sure his mic stand is all good. Phil's struggling over there.
I have a whole new setup. I moved everything yesterday, so now I'm like, everything's just slightly out of position for me.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a new pair of pants. You just kind of got to get them snug in the right place.
Let's book the match. Phil versus the microphone.
Phil versus the mic. There you go.
And it's not even the mic. It's the cover for the mic.
Yeah, Phil's. If you're watching on the live stream, Phil is amusing right now. And by the way, you go to Mark Hoke Show at Mark Hoke Show on X or the Mark Hoke Show on YouTube and Facebook, and you can join us in the live stream and make your comments. We would love to hear from you on whatever you want to fire it. And I have a feeling hour number 2 we're going to be generating some comments. Just a hunch.
We're getting quite a few in the first hour.
Yeah. It's fun. We love talking to you guys. So hop on in there. I want to talk a little TNA when we get back. 2 new champions in TNA, and one is driving everybody crazy already. Who would that be? Stick around and find out here on the Mark Hoke Show. Eric A., Phil Stamper, Coach Rosey. We'll be right back.
Have you inherited a home and want to avoid the stress and hassle of selling? Call Wedgwood Homes first to discuss your options. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. Probate paperwork, multiple heirs, property taxes, repairs, and maybe even an existing mortgage. With Wedgwood Homes, there's no need to clean or clear out the house and no repairs or updates. We buy as is and provide a fast, reliable, all-cash offer. No commissions, no hassle. The Wedgwood Homes team can guide you through the process with experts in probate, trusts, and shared inheritance. Wedgwood Homes offer is firm with no strings and no last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. We can close in as little as 3 days or on your timeline. Avoid competing with new inventory and demanding buyers in the real estate market. Let Wedgwood Homes ease the process so you can help your family move forward. Call 702-996-3583 today for your no-obligation cash offer. That's 702-996-3583. 702-996-3583. Or wedgwoodhomes.com. Las Vegas's trusted home buyer for 20 years.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may...
FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Oh, it's not just me. It's 3 other crazy goofballs that we have along for the ride. It is my show, though. But we've got Eric Hay at it's EHAY 300, right?
Yes.
All right. Phil Stamper at Trust and Phil. Coach Rosey at Real Coach Rosey on X. And how's the basketball team doing, Coach? What's the deal? Where you at?
Well, we're #1 in the state. The state playoffs start next week. The bracket show came out yesterday. We were honored to be ranked at #1, and currently we're #5 in the United States. So it's a big 3 weeks basketball left for us.
Very nice. Congratulations. Hope it all goes your way the rest of the season. So
go Sunny Slope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Let's get a chant going in the chat box. Go
Sunny Slope. Sunny Slope.
Appreciate
that was interesting. All right. TNA No Surrender was over Friday, I believe. And Trey Miguel, after leaving and getting fired by AEW and coming back, he is now the TNA International Champion. Talk about a twist and turn on that one, boys. Wow. Coach Rosey, Trey Miguel gets a belt after he tried to leave.
Hey, I believe in giving people second chances. This is there's people that all of us, not just people, but all of us have fouled up either by a comment or by something that we've done throughout life. I don't think that should stigmatize you for the rest of your career. Trey Miguel is TNA. He was huge in TNA. The Rascals were huge, and give him a singles run. Why not? I'm for it.
Yeah, I love watching Trey wrestle. I think he's awesome. I really do. Phil, the Trey Miguel picking up a title, but are you surprised they did it that fast though?
I'm very surprised they did it that fast, but I'm so glad to see him back. And I mean, ever since I've known Trey, it's like I always look forward to seeing him wrestle. Like, people come to watch him. People love seeing that he keeps progressing, that every time you see him, it's something new and something more. Like, he's that kind of talent. And that always makes me pay more attention.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now I'm going to get into the fun one that everybody is griping about. Is there is a new TNA Knockouts champion, as Ariana Grace, the daughter of Santino Marella, is now goes from NXT kind of backup to TNA Knockouts champion, including near the end of the match, she busted out the Cobra. Hey, hey, whoop. Eric, your reaction to Ariana Grace winning the NXT title and setting up her finishing move with the Cobra to do it. A stolen Cobra. She stole it from Santino in New Jersey.
Well, she had to do something from her father. I mean, I don't necessarily think that was the right move. I think there's many more options they could have gone with. And I don't know if that's going to help get the TNA Women's Championship on NXT. Maybe get some extra eyes that I'm not sure of. I'm not sure what their plan is.
Phil, do you know what their plan is?
No.
But sorry, guys. Just, really?
I'm kind of for, like, in the way of like nostalgia and like let's take an entertaining moment. I'm for this one. Like, just enjoy this one for what it is.
I guess it's just gonna be fun, right, Coach?
Hey, it's going towards the storyline, with Daria as the new boss. There's going to be a legit story. Santino he tried to get in and talk to his daughter and celebrate with her. This is creating a story, and that's what we're always kind of complaining about, is getting some quality storylines. Well, they're attempting to do this with Daria as a new, boss, or however they're going to book her, and Santino being on the outs. It kind of makes sense. Who else would have been a great Knockouts champion right now that could have held the storyline like we're about to see between Santino, Daria, and his daughter? Why not? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's see what happens. It's honky tonk man-ish. We'll put it in that category. But
a honky donkey man.
The honky donkey man. Yeah, okay. I will say this: anything that puts Santino Marella on our televisions a little bit more, I'm okay with that. So, but that was surprising. Mickey James is back. I know somebody in the chat box, Javon Campbell, mentioned that Mickey James came back to kick some ash by elegance. So Mickey James back in TNA. Eric, what do you think?
That's good. I mean, she's been a mainstay there since she left WWE, both times, and she's gonna help them more than hurt them.
No doubt. By the way, I want to welcome some new people in the chat box. Like, trying to see some of the comments that were going through here. I think it looked like it was an argument in the chat box, but hi to at Time for Fitness U or Fitness 2389. I think he was commenting on what Grandmaster Solus was saying in there. Who else was new in the chat box? Michael Loving. Welcome. Hello. How are you all doing? I feel like goo, but otherwise I think everybody else is doing all right. So thank you, Michael. Welcome to the show. New people, guys. It's fun.
Getting more eyes. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
And we're forgetting one of the biggest rubs that TNA got. Jelly Roll.
Yes,
thinking that. Yeah,
unprompted, unsolicited, in Nashville. That's what was cool to see Mickey show up. But to have Jelly Roll show up into the stands, and then they use him right away in a promo with AJ Francis. So
that'd be fun.
Got a lot of eyes on TNA when they weren't expecting it. That thing kind of went mini viral. That Jelly Roll has that much respect in TNA that he's just going to show up on a random Friday night as a fan and go and watch. That's going to help the product.
And AJ Francis is going to hurt him very badly. I'm just going to put that out there too. That could get ugly. That could get real ugly. Jelly Roll will be flying through the air. His wrapper's going to come off and all the whipped cream's going to fly everywhere. It just won't be good. Phil is like,
we're all making faces at you right now. All of
yeah, it's all good. All right. Hour 2 is coming up, everybody. Stick around. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
What's your boy
going on in AEW? Holy buckets. Scandals and all sorts of ownership things and chants. It's going to be ugly, guys. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Plus, Eric Bischoff even got his statement in there on it, too. We'll be back for hour 2 of the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around. Want more of the Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Want more of the gaming perks you love? Play at Jerry's Nugget. Want more delicious dining? Play at Jerry's Nugget. Want more value every time you visit? Play at Jerry's Nugget. Voted silver and bronze in Best of Las Vegas, Jerry's has the latest in slots and video poker games, easy bets on live tables, and loads of bingo payouts. You're gonna love Jerry's Nugget Casino. Earn free play, cash back, and comps for all your play. Great gaming, good food, and better value. You're gonna love Jerry's Nugget Casino.
Jerry's Nugget Casino, your kind of place.
Brake light on? Hearing a strange noise? Head to Meineke. Our certified technicians handle brakes, tires, engine repairs, and oil changes fast and honest. Every visit includes a free digital e-inspection with photos and videos so you know exactly what your car needs. And with Fix Now, Pay Later financing, you can get repairs done on a payment plan that fits your budget. Schedule now at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
Staying safe starts with awareness. Stay aware of your surroundings. If you notice suspicious behavior, trust your instincts and say something. That could be an unattended bag, someone acting out of place, or an activity that doesn't belong near public spaces or critical infrastructure. Awareness isn't about fear. It's about paying attention and speaking up before the situation becomes an emergency. And stay alert to scams that try to create urgency or panic. When something feels off, pause. Do some research and verify before you take action. Remember, we all play an active role in keeping Nevada safe. If you see something, say something. For more information and resources, visit oem.nv.gov. This message is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Nevada Office of Emergency Management Homeland Security, and your local emergency manager's office. Aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This is Steve Smith here, former NFL wide receiver and host of the 89 Show on YouTube. In football, any sign of weakness can be used against you. So I always put on a tough front. But inside, I was struggling mentally on how and what to do. It takes years to understand that only by opening up could I begin to overcome them. If you need someone to open up to, BetterHelp Online Therapy can help. Visit BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com/89 to get started.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas, 1015 FM KDAWN. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
2 weeks since Nancy Guthrie last was seen and no arrests. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. Police detained at least 4 people Friday night during operations related to the case. Fox's Chanley Painter.
The search for Nancy Guthrie now entering its 3rd week without a resolution in sight. The Pima County Sheriff's Office says there are no arrests. During an operation late Friday, 2 miles from Guthrie's home, agents detained 3 people at a home and 1 person during a traffic stop. All have since been released. Another search warrant was executed in in Rio Rico last Tuesday near the border. Agents are looking for a masked suspect seen in doorbell video, a man who is 5'9" to 5'10" tall.
The FBI increased the reward to $100,000 for information leading to Guthrie's recovery and or conviction. Federal climate regulations scrapped by the Trump administration.
The Environmental Protection Agency is rescinding a 2009 federal finding that vehicle emissions and other greenhouse gases pose a danger to public health.
This was all a scam, a giant scam.
President Trump says the endangerment finding allowed federal agencies to unfairly set regulations for vehicles that drove up costs and made U.S. automakers less competitive.
All to facilitate the Green New Scam without achieving any meaningful impact on the environment.
The 2009 findings served as a legal underpinning for the EPA, and reversing it is likely to spark its own legal challenges, with lawsuits already previewed by public health and environment advocates. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Questions remain over future security guarantees in Ukraine, according to President Volodymyr Zelensky. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference in Germany, Zelensky repeatedly thanked American and European allies for helping Ukraine by providing air defense systems to protect infrastructure like power plants and save lives. America's listening to Fox News.
History isn't just in textbooks. It's the story of us, the United States. 2026 marks 250 years of America. And throughout the year, Bill Hemmer takes listeners on a journey through the 250 most impactful moments in American history. From the spark of revolution to the battles for freedom, the ideas, inventions, and decisions that changed the world. The 250 most impactful moments in American history podcast. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, everyone. It's Candace Cameron Bure.
Hey, everyone. It's Phil Sims.
It's Dolores Catania.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kix Brooks.
It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Rob Paulson.
I'm Ryan Serhant.
Hey, everyone. I'm Nicole Palizzi.
Everybody's Kevin Nealon.
What's up, guys? It's Nia Sue, and it's time to take the quiz.
5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
Hi, this is Ted Cruz. Join Ben Ferguson and me each weekend for Verdict. We take you behind the scenes for the ultimate insider show with the most up-to-date news and reaction.
Saturday mornings at 10 on KDAWN and everywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. Talk of Las Vegas. Hour number 2 as we bring you the best in pro wrestling news, entertainment, and I don't know what Phil Stamper is doing on the live stream right now. It's bald is a theme, by the way. It is a theme.
Bald.
Eric's holding it strong for the rest of us.
Team hair, let's go.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm playing it tight. You know,
You're like 75% on the way.
It's just the back. It's just up here. Because my brain's so big it pushes all the air out.
He's on his way to the Gene Okerlund look.
I don't know about that. Jeez, I did a little incident with the hair gel this morning, but we won't get into that. It wasn't good. Eric A., Phil Stamper, Coach Rosey along for the ride here. And, we got the WWE thing out of the way. And actually, there's a comment in the chat box I'm going to use to lead into what we're going to discuss next. Because our good friend Bionic Scoop is in here. We've got to say hi to Scoop, everybody. So, Scoop! What's up? Bionic Scoop in the chat box said, wrestling is both frustrating and interesting as of late. I think that's a pretty fair statement right now.
I'd agree.
Agreed.
As we headed into this news cycle, we were already wondering what was going to be happening with the in AEW with Brody King and his ice antics. So on Wednesday, Dynamite airs. They had a promo for the MJF Brody King match that was headlining the AEW Grand Slam Australia show. And Dave came up the next day, and our good friend Dave Meltzer, look, he's done a lot of good work in pro wrestling. You can't deny that. But he came out with a story that said that Warner Brothers Discovery blocked Brody King from being on Dynamite because they didn't want the ice chants because they were concerned about making Donald Trump mad and having him interfere in the Warner Brothers Discovery and Netflix merger. Well, of course, that set the internet on fire. And it turned out it wasn't true. I actually tried to reach out to a source that could have reached the White House on that. Of course, my buddy didn't come through for me. I was sad. But, even I smelled an issue on this one. And I was right, because that never happened. But of course, it set everybody ablaze. You can't keep Brody off TV. And then, oh my God, here we go. And it re-sparked the whole discussion about, should these ice chants be happening? What's going on with AEW? Well, of course, then our buddies from CNN, one of the great news organizations in the world, sorry, had to get the frog out of my throat on that, decided to report, oh, look, pro wrestling there's a landscape shift in pro wrestling. And, they also decided to report that, oh, by the way, AEW has, or Warner Bros. Discovery has a minority stake in AEW, which Tony had been trying to not mention for quite a while. So I'm sure Tony wasn't real happy about that. And then, of course, we get to the broadcast, and even if they wanted to censor the ice chants, they couldn't, because it was in Australia, and everybody had already put up videos about the ice chants being up. So they're going to censor the ice chants, which they did not, to their credit or detriment. Then also during this discussion, we had this come up, and I'm going to put this up on the screen here in a second. We'll get Coach Rosey back on here. He's shifting around. Someone found an Instagram post from Brody King, which I'll throw it up there real quick. There's a picture from the WrestleMania match between Undertaker and Big Boss Man, where Big Boss Man got hung, and it says all cops are Big Boss Man, with him dangling from a noose. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot, boys. First, let's get to Phil on the report issue. Uncle Dave stepped in at this time, didn't he?
He did, but I feel like Uncle Dave is getting less and less reliable from quote unquote credible sources. I feel you're getting like, you know what? I can throw darts at a dartboard and maybe 1 out of 10 will get a bullseye. Like without much skill. Dave has skill. Dave has connections. There's no doubting that. But I feel like there's been a lot more. It's more him speculating than actually having evidence, proof, a true statement from somebody is what it's really starting to feel like.
Yeah, Dave's been.
Has felt like that for a long time, I should say.
Yeah, just that, and like I said, it just started this whole thing rolling again. But Eric, let me go to you and talk about how the broadcast was handled and so on. Did they do the right thing? Did they, letting the chants go up, and was that all right?
I mean, they had how many hours between the live event in Australia before it aired here in the United States? They had their options. Maybe they chose not to do it because everything already leaked online, and they would have got, people would have been saying, oh, they already knew they were doing it. I mean, I don't know. It's a very tough line that they're stuck in right now. because you got people from both sides looking at, oh, this side, yay, they're bashing ICE. The other side, feeling that they shouldn't be doing it at all because, I mean, it's like I said, it's a very fine line, and they have to figure out how they want to go forward with it.
Well, it is a ridiculously fine line here, Coach. And look, I'll get into some other stuff, and because I am going to editorialize a little bit, but I was listening to JD from New York again, who was talking about this whole thing, and here's some issues. Number one, people don't want to tune in to pro wrestling to hear politics. They don't. It's an escape. It is not something that everybody is like, oh my God, we need activism in pro wrestling. No, we don't. This is why people don't watch movies anymore. This is why people don't tune into awards shows and other broadcasts that are preachy. They don't want it. They just don't. And then you also have the fact that you're talking about a guy who, they just found this post from Brody, and I'm really, like I said, I'm trying to walk a fine line here. It's just that's not acceptable. And you have other issues too that I don't think that people understand when you're running something that, like in a media organization, like here, for example. I'll throw this out. If we were doing stuff that was anti-ICE, right? Our sales team would be going crazy. And I will guarantee you, this is what's happening with the AEW sales team right now. Either current sponsors or people that want to sponsor or maybe interested in sponsoring AEW are seeing this. And they are saying, what is going on? I don't want to be associated with that. They don't. They don't want controversy surrounding their brands. If you're selling spaghetti sauce, though, you don't want the first thing that people are thinking about is immigration problems. Especially with a profane chant like that. You also have a problem, Coach, with the people on the right side aren't going and jumping in front of vehicles. They're not throwing sex toys around in front of City Hall in Minneapolis or anything like that. They just don't watch. They don't spend their money. Look what happened to companies like Bud Light, Target, Jaguar. Jaguar got destroyed on one ad. I mean, there are so many companies that have tried to do this, and have they managed to rebound somewhat? Yes, but they lost a lot of money. Look what happened with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl here. And I'm going to tell you the ramification of that 10% drop in the audience. When they go back to advertisers next year for the halftime show, they're going to say, hey, you know what? You guys lost 10% of the audience. Maybe we should be paying 20% less. All these things come into play, and the people that are doing the chant don't realize that, and Brody King doesn't realize it. But the person I'm really surprised, Coach, that doesn't realize it is Tony Khan, an experienced businessman. These are all things that come into this, and I don't know why they don't see it.
Yeah, you don't want to alienate 50% of your fans. Whenever you bring politics or religion into a wrestling storyline, you're going to alienate some of your fans. And AEW is not in a position right now, ratings-wise, to be able to lose 50% of their fans, let alone all the sponsorship and all the other stuff involved with putting out messages like that. It's just not the best business decision. If that's the way they feel like in real life, this is called the pro wrestling business. It's about making money. It's about putting butts in seats. And when you have that kind of stuff on your show, you're going to alienate a lot of people. I don't think many people on the right side of the aisle are drinking Bud Light anymore. I don't think they're going to Cracker Barrel anymore. They have a very firm constituent base that once you alienate them, it's very hard to get them to return.
And Phil, I'm curious to hear what you're hearing on the inside of the industry about this. Are people saying, they should let this go on? Or are they saying, boy, this is crazy, this shouldn't be happening? What's your take from being on the inside?
I think on the side of what you said, wrestling is an entertainment industry. It is interesting because there's a split in the crowd right now. There is this sort of perspective of, well, if the crowd's doing it, let the crowd do what they're going to do. Okay, I get that. As a talent, where do you have picking a side is not fun when it comes to politics in general sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're an entertainer and you're out there, and it's basically when you make a stance, you're going to alienate somebody. And if you don't make a stance, you're going to alienate somebody. So it's a weird line to walk. I don't agree with the picture of the big boss man. That's me. That's a clear statement. That's broader than even some of the ICE comments. Not I'm making it sound lighter. It's very broader than just the ICE comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. So we got through this pay-per-view. They'd already advertised. It was already marketed. Okay, great. We're here. Or not. I said pay-per-view. It wasn't pay-per-view. It was on TNT last night. So now I'm like, okay, what happens next? Is it going to be like we need Brody to cool off for a little bit? Will we see him again shortly? And not like, oh, he's going to vanish completely. Maybe he's in a segment. So that way, you're still seeing him on television. So there's not this disregard for, oh, well, he made comments that they didn't agree with. It's he's over here. So now the live crowd, if they chant, well, we can dub that out, fix that out, and then like move on. We'll see. Like, this is a horrible comparison, so bear with me. I hated, and this is now 20 years ago, Muhammad Hassan. He does this segment taped before the attacks in London that then they try to attribute because he's a terrorist character, and then it was like WWE didn't know what to do and they backpedaled and like freaked out, and the people were all upset. And it's like, I don't think people were really upset. The crowd didn't react in any way to it. But the backstage politics of it made, and I don't know Hassan's real name, made him feel like, oh my gosh, like all this is wrong and all this is falling apart. And Muhammad Hassan, by the way, is Italian, not anything connected to Milan.
Right.
That's, and I know this is a little bit different. It's a little apples to oranges, but at the same time, it's like how much of the crowd is really responding to the incident versus also then being fed an opportunity to chant something because they were in Australia getting those chants. And
yeah. Like, by the way, to everybody in Australia, we don't care what you think about our politics. And they have way stricter immigration policies. If you didn't know that, but Eric, this is also puts AEW in a damned if you do and damned if you don't spot. I mean, just think about just one quick decision. Do you censor the chants or not? Business-wise, probably the best move. But if you do it, then your internet community goes crazy and you're getting bad press. So you're stuck there. And Brody King, look, he's got to bear the ultimate responsibility for making this push and wearing the shirts. Tony, in my opinion, should have stopped him and said, "Don't do this. This is gonna bring too much heat on everybody." But if you take Brody King off the air, people are gonna flip out and say, "Oh, why are you? You're just censoring Brody, and you don't agree with it." And then, but if you put him out there and the chants continue, you risk alienating more of your fan base and business partners as well. This was a mistake from the start.
So AEW already has a very specific audience. And like Coach said, you're already going to alienate 50% one side or the other. So it's a very, like we said before, very fine line. Me personally, I would not have I would mute the chants or do whatever they need to do. edit them out if they're on a taped show. As for having Brody King on, you can still include him, but just you have to do it in a way that's not going to alienate people. I mean, they did get press from the show we went to here in Vegas. TMZ was all over it. Other news outlets were all over it. But now it's going to become, okay, what's going to happen? Are people going to start getting to the show early and protesting? I mean, what's going to happen? You have to be very careful with things.
Yeah, and go ahead, Coach.
And when you look at the next pay-per-view, Revolution's in Los Angeles. And if they continue to feature Brody and give him a big-time opportunity at Revolution, it could really, really, really blow up in their face.
Yeah, and the other Ice Bro, the guy who thought that he could demand that you don't play any commercials for Ice during AEW broadcasting, Hangman and Adam Page, is now the number one contender too. So you're going from Brody to Page. I mean, Phil, this is, man, they are walking on a line of fire right now. They really are.
It is a line. And Hangman's also walking some other dangerous lines right now too.
Yeah, with Marty Scurll.
Yeah. And so there's also a little bit of that. I mean, for a long time, Hangman to me is not a main event guy. I'm sorry, he's never been for me. We've talked about that before on the show. He's just, to me, he's not that guy. The fact you keep going back to him, I think, just forget all the politics stuff. From a booking perspective, is a bad move. Like, one, it's the same guy over and over and over again. Who, two, seems a little dry and boring. Three, like, it doesn't pull the trigger all the way. There's fans who are interested in him, and then like it doesn't work, and then it moves off because it doesn't work. Like, I just think it's a bad booking decision.
And you combine it with the situation here now. If you didn't notice, and Eric, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misstating this, but in Vegas didn't get a lot of fan chatter during his match. You know, people weren't excited to see him on Australia. And I do think that some of that came from his stance on ice that he was putting out. I used to be a fairly big supporter of Hangman Adam Page. When he was wrestling CM Punk here a couple years ago for the championship, I was cheering for the Hangman. Now I just wish I couldn't have cheered for anybody. But I think that getting political for him too hurt him.
It did. I mean, yeah, he came out and there wasn't as big a reaction as he should be getting if he's going to be put in that spot. He was being set up to have that match with Andrade, and then now set up to face MJF. So when he came out here, it was kind of, hey, Hangman, but not a reaction like they wanted.
No, and I probably would have gone to Andrade. That would have been a really nice draw in Los Angeles. I would have thought,
especially as big of a Latino base they have in Southern California, would have drawn people.
That would have been just fine. And I actually saw somebody online suggest that MJF should have worn a shirt out for the match that said "I stand with Ice," and I'm just sitting there like, what are you talking about?
Why make it worse?
Why would you make it worse? And then why would you put MJF in that position? It's like you guys got to use your brains a little bit, just a little. Oh my Lord! I have an out for Brody though, and real quick, I'm going to talk about it when we come back. A slight out. I don't know if he can get totally out of it, but I'm here to help.
That's what Mark Hoke does.
Yeah, I'm a very helpful person. Eric Hay is too. So is Coach Rosey, great basketball coach. Phil Stamper, he'll just throw you into a table and watch you cry and laugh. But he's still all right. Got a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around, everybody.
Are you ready to sell your house but tired of waiting for the real estate market to improve? Wondering if this spring will really be any better or if it's time to move on and sell now? Call Wedgwood Homes to discuss your options. Do you have a house that needs repairs or want to downsize, relocate, sell an inherited property, or dealing with financial stress or foreclosure? Do you need cash quickly? Wedgwood Homes offers a fast, reliable, all-cash offer. Wedgwood Homes buys homes as is. No repairs, no commissions, no hassle. Close in as little as 3 days or on your timeline. Skip the stress of a traditional listing. Avoid competing with new inventory and pickier buyers as you wait longer. Choose a guaranteed cash sale that allows you to move now. With Wedgwood Homes, our offers are firm, no strings attached, and no last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. Call 702-996-3583 for your no-obligation, all-cash offer. Wedgwood Homes, Las Vegas's trusted home buyer. 702-996-3583. That's 702-996-3583 or wedgwoodhomes.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, I'm back. Isn't that exciting? You guys should all be thrilled to death. Eric K., Phil Stamper, Coach Rosey joining me on the show. And talking about all this stuff happening with AEW. Oh, boy. Even Eric Bischoff got into this debate, by the way. You know, Mr. Controversy creates cash. You still have people in very high positions making really stupid decisions because they're not connected to the audience. You cannot be successful in the entertainment business if you don't know your audience. And if you think you're so good out there performing in the ring that you can go out and alienate 50% of the audience and believe it doesn't matter, you've lost touch. And that's exactly what's happening on the corporate level. Bischoff was like, this is stupid. Mr. Controversy creates cash. Totally disagrees with what they're doing right now. By the way, Tube Man, I'm going to call the Tube Man out. I usually like the Tube Man. And I kind of said something like this. MJF should be, I hope he's joking. MJF should be pro-ice and Brody and Hangman should be anti-ice if it is a triple threat at Revolution. Tube Man has apparently put something in a tube and smoking it this morning. But that's okay. Oh my God. But Grandmaster Solus also in the chat box saying it is proven that real life politics don't work in fictional wrestling. Thank you very much. I just want to throw something out here real quick about what's happening with this, and I'm so frustrated because being in producing a political show, I'm kind of knee deep in this stuff all day long as is. And, I really don't like talking too much politics on the show. It is a little frustrating. I'm just going to say this though, that there are a lot of people that are bang on ice all the time. And when they were up in Minnesota, they rescued 3,300 kids up there. They have rescued 62,000 children from sex trafficking and forced labor. 62,000. There were 300,000 kids that were unaccounted for, which is the entire Clark County School District if every kid disappeared. And they managed to at least found 145,000 of them. As a father, I think that's a good thing. And it blows me away that some of these guys who are fathers would think these guys are doing terrible work. You may not agree with some stuff and the basic premise of what they're doing, but they have gotten a lot of criminals off the street. There's a new site out there, by the way. They called it Worst of the Worst. It's wow.dhs.gov, where they're putting up a lot of these criminals that they're bringing in, and just reading what some of these have done. There's over 1,000 sex offenders up there. And as a dad, my daughter goes around Las Vegas, and I couldn't imagine if something would happen to her. And, these guys are trying to help. So I just wanted to throw that out there to everybody that, they're taking a lot of chances, but they're doing a lot of good things, especially in this area. So just thought I'd mention that. But here's my Brody King out, guys. Are you ready? Now that I did my somber moment. Unfortunately, there was a kid in Los Angeles by the name of Oscar Rodriguez who was raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant in LA. And maybe honor that kid and his family. Bring him in. Do some fundraising for the family. That story just hit again because that guy got hit with another 9 sex charges on top of all this. Do an outreach. I don't know if it would be enough, but at least acknowledge the good things that they're doing, because I swear to God, if this keeps up, some bad's going to happen in an arena. I am nervous about that, because eventually people aren't going to put up with it anymore. So that's what I'm saying, Eric. Hey, what do you think?
I mean, it's a good out. I mean, it's supporting a family that was unfortunately dealing with a major tragedy because of someone that shouldn't have been here. And hopefully that would help to calm things down and make it this bad situation that they're currently in better.
Better or worse, Phil? Or is there no out for Brody King?
I really don't think there is an out right now. It's kind of like you made a stance, okay? Like I said, I don't think right now you need some space. You just need space.
Yeah, and I, that post that showed up, I seem to remember Trey Miguel getting his contract voided from AEW because of a post from God knows how long ago. I think it was 2010. The late Jay Briscoe never gone on AEW TV because of a stance that he took. What's the difference? I don't know if Coach Rosey's there or not.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. What's the difference, Coach?
There is no difference. So they should just do what wrestling always does, is just have people vanish and don't bring it up anymore, and eventually it'll go away.
Fair enough. Well,
to that I'll just say, what? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh man. That was shameful, Phil Stamper. I just want to throw that out to you. Very shameful.
CM Punk. I'm just saying, some stuff won't go away, and you know what? It'll just take a different life. Even if it does continue, okay.
Yeah. And eventually the topic's going to calm down too. Of course, then they'll find something else to gripe about. But yeah, but an interesting week, by the way, in AEW as well. Let's get to the ring a little bit, shall we? We got two new champions on Wednesday night's Dynamite, as we have a new women's champion as Tekla takes out Chris Statlander, who was very emotional in an interview right before that. But she is now no longer the champion, and Kyle Fletcher ends Tommaso Ciampa's TNT title reign at 11 days. Eric, good calls, bad calls?
I think the Tekla call is a good call. I mean, the stable's building with Julia and Sky, and it'll be fun to see baby faces chasing her for the title. With Ciampa, you need a lot of fans thinking, "Oh, Tony had a new shiny WWE toy, and now he wants to go play with another toy." That's what some fans are gonna say. I'm not saying that's where it's going, but I think it's better to have had Fletcher in Australia as champion. Now you can see Tommaso maybe go after Ricochet, do something else.
Oh, you know what? That would be, we get the reverse hair match.
Yeah.
There we go.
Instead of shaving your head, shave your chin.
And Phil, you should be the referee.
Or Yuta.
Or Yuta.
Yeah,
he got his head shaved at Grand Slam. That was unfortunate for Yuta. I don't know.
He needed it.
That's true. I think that they set that match up just because he wanted a free haircut.
You know what? Hey, go for it.
Yeah,
but wilder and wilder. I love it.
Oh,
they've had plenty of people do a ball battle royal with Bryce as the referee.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh boy. And Coach, let me ask you this too. Overall thoughts on AEW Grand Slam? Pretty good show, I thought. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe put on a hell of a ladder match. We have the head shaving, and MJF and Brody. Some people were screaming for Brody to go over. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? But MJF retains the title. What'd you think, Coach? Good show for Grand Slam?
Yeah, I thought it was a good show, and I thought the best match of the night was Moxley against Takeshita.
Oh yeah,
that was a hard hitting match that had all the makings of a showdown that's going to last for some time. Takeshita needs a championship belt. I saw that in the comments. He does need some AEW gold. I was thinking he might go over last night, but to continue the storyline, we're only going to get good matches out of it. It was great to see Harley get her moment in her hometown, and MJF won without cheating. So for him to win without cheating was a nice touch.
Yeah, there you go. Phil, I saw your jaw drop.
So I'm in the Maryland area, and there is a report of a tractor trailer that went off the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel between Norfolk and the Eastern Shore. So I'm just looking at the images.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh.
I hope everybody's okay on that.
Yeah, positive thoughts to anyone involved.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's kind of bugging me about all this stuff that's happening in AEW too is that while some people are saying, oh, they're getting publicity out of this whole thing, they're not talking about the wrestling, and the wrestling has been so good in AEW. I mean, they are nailing it night in, night out. I mean, the Dynamite 2 weeks ago, a lot of people are saying that was one of the best television shows ever, and they might be right. And it's a shame that we're not talking about what's happening in the ring, Phil.
I mean, at the same time, well, we just did. It's gotten so much better. I think the storylines are becoming more and more cohesive, which is what they needed. And what we were seeing a few months ago was the quality of their pay-per-views had gone so up, but the TV needed more work. Well, now I feel like the TV is catching up better. So I feel really strong about that they are making a better wrestling showing than they have in a while.
Yeah, it's going to be this lead up to Revolution is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what Tony pulls out of the hat on this. But they've got to steer the ship through this crisis right now, because this is I don't think some people over there realize how serious this could get for AEW. And I've been a supporter of AEW since day one. And I just don't want to see a company who's really providing a big service to the industry and a lot of great entertainment get hurt or worse. So I don't know, but we'll talk when we come back. We'll talk a little bit about the issue with, well, Warner Brothers apparently owns part of AEW. And I want to get into the Wrestling Observer Awards. There were a couple on the board that started some debates, shall we say. We'll have some fun with that. Eric A., Phil Stamper, Coach Rosey. I'm Mark Hoke. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around. And Coach, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
See you, buddies.
Bye, Coach. Have a good one.
Yep.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I spent years living in fear of calcium oxalate crystal stones, always afraid of when the next one would hit. Now I just take Kidney Cop.
Battling calcium oxalate stones? It's time to try Kidney Cop, a doctor-recommended kidney supplement that has been shown in laboratory tests to reduce the growth rate of calcium oxalate crystals by 99%. Get Kidney Cop today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCop.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
This is Steve Smith here, former NFL wide receiver and host of the 89 show on YouTube. So having a counselor and working with BetterHelp, that gives you an opportunity to really start to unpack. But people don't understand, when you unpack things, you also open up a box that you're not always sure what's inside. So I think that's why seeing a professional is extremely important. If you need someone to open up to, visit BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com/89 to get started.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
I still want to wrestle Phil Stamper.
No, you don't.
Just one time. Just one time.
Come on, Phil. You know you want to put him to a table.
I mean, there is that. Or shave the rest of his head up.
I'll be the only one left with hair on the show.
If you win, you can shave my chest, Phil. How's that? You're gonna shave my head.
I think we both start wrestling and then we both just turn on Eric.
That is a fantastic idea. I like that one.
I'll go to the table, 3D style.
I think more than one table. I say we stack them up like 3 high, Phil.
Let's go.
Maybe. All right.
But it doesn't go all the way through the bottom one. It just goes 1, 2.
Yeah, and then just kind of catches, well, now I'm going to start painting graphic pictures. So, according to CNN, who does have to divulge things, and, being in the media, I know we always have to say if there's any type of conflict of interest or anything like that. CNN did say that, they are owned by Warner Brothers Discovery and AEW, and said that AEW has a partial, or they have a partial stake in the AEW. Is this a big deal, Phil? Does it matter?
To me, no. I of course I'm curious as to what level, because if you go back to WCW in the 90s, and the Ted Turner organization had some stake in, well, that was to help financially WCW to afford the talent. So like I'm curious, what does this minority stake actually mean? Does it maybe give them some voice at the table? Does it give them firm control over something? Does it give them AEW a financial piece? That's the part we're missing.
There's been some decisions that have come down from them that I don't think Tony would have necessarily done. So I'm curious to see about that. Eric, what did you think of that breaking part of the story, by the way?
I mean, like Phil said, how much influence do they have? Are they just getting the financial part of it, or are they trying to say, hey, this is what content we want to see on our network?
So
on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out too, by the way. If that is legitimately true, good move by Tony, because he's basically got the network that he's trying to stay on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for them to make a decision at some point to say we're not going to renew your deal, they're kind of screwing themselves a little bit too. They're going to have to buy Tony out, or even if it's like 5%. Not a bad play by Tony Khan.
And I'm always curious when it comes to some contract stuff and things you don't know of behind the scenes. And there's a discussion, I won't say who, in the chat that's sort of like, this isn't true. It is true. Tony Khan went on WrestleDomics and talked about like, yeah, this is true, but the deal is between us. So he's not disclosing here's all the specifics. But when they first signed that agreement, there were supposed to be some additional channels that AEW was going to appear on that haven't happened yet. And so but the revenue is there from what Warner Brothers promised. So now I'm like, where's that? So does the contract just change? Do they have a financial stake because, well, we didn't fulfill this part of the contract? So I'm very curious.
Yeah, this will be fun down the road, especially next contract negotiation. So,
how much will this affect the merger? I mean, with wrestling wise,
that is going to be interesting too. The business side of this thing is fascinating. We'll see how it goes. We did mention Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer. Well, they had their awards come out, and there's a couple that I just wanted to. And I'm sorry, it's still making me giggle when Brian Alvarez says you guys are nuts. The worst match of the year.
Worst match?
Worst.
No, shut
Sorry.
up.
That's how much you love. That's how much it's affected.
Yeah, the worst match of the year was voted as the WrestleMania match between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. They are screaming over there that it should have been Suzuki versus Butterbean, and have said this is the worst match they've ever seen in their lives. But I did see a counter from my friends at Coldaholic who said, look, it's not necessarily what happened in the ring, but the scope of the worstness that makes it the worst match. And the Rhodes Cena match screwed up WrestleMania. Everybody hates that WrestleMania because of that match. What's more important? Performing horribly in the ring or having something really big get screwed up and not be as good as it should? Eric? Because that Suzuki Butterbean match was a travesty to the industry.
I mean, if you're gonna have a Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler type match, that's the worst match. I mean, you need to have. You should go to a match that was full on terrible.
So straight in ring.
I mean, I hated the ending to the Cena Cody match. Just a belt shot and boom, that's it. But I don't think it's as bad as the Suzuki Butterbean match.
It was heinous, Phil.
I'm gonna transition this though just slightly, because one of his other awards was worst heel turn was John Cena, and I 1,000% disagree. The worst face turn of the year was John Cena.
Wow.
Not because he became face. The way it happened, he's just in a promo. I realized I was wrong out of nowhere. No one had challenged him. No one had said anything. He's like, I'm really for you guys now.
Well, they had Cody beat the heel out of him the week before.
Right.
Yeah, he beat it out of him.
Right.
The other award, most disgusting promotional tactic, which got voted as bring back Brock Lesnar. And then it was TKO relationship with Saudi, and then the Raja Jackson incident and promotion advertising him on a future show came in third. Now, there are a lot of people that disagree and said the Raja Jackson stuff should have been at the top. I will say that the promotional tactic of saying he was going to be on the show, but not being on the show, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think when Raja did the attack that the promoter knew that. He didn't plan it. Raja just did it. What was the worst promotional tactic, Phil?
Ooh. This is hard.
I saw the one somebody tried to do on you, by the way, on your Facebook. That was pretty funny. The
missed
12-hour thing. Gonna come see me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what I put out there was that a promoter reached out, and I will say this is not anything recent because I hold on things so they're a little bit separate from when they are. When I say stuff like this, a promoter had reached out, was like, "Oh, am I going to see you this weekend?" And my response was, "Well, I talked to you months ago, and when I asked you about the booking, you just said, 'Cool, I'll let you know.'" And so I hadn't heard anything, and now I'm booked somewhere else. Do you still need somebody? And he goes, "No, all the spots are filled." I'm like, "So if I came, would you have anything for me?" "No, it would just be good to see you."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I've also
That's
gotten the opposite, where a promoter does book me. I have it in writing that I'm confirmed for the booking. I show up and they go, "Oh, Phil, I didn't know you were coming." Well, you are going to pay me.
All right. Well, anyway, back to the question at hand. What was the worst promotional tactic? Which one? Because I think the Brock Lesnar thing is completely overblown.
I have a different one.
Eric's, okay, go ahead.
Making people think The Rock would be more involved post-elimination chamber.
Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah. I might agree with you on that. It's certainly far worse than bringing back Brock Lesnar.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, not today. Phil, answer the question. You still haven't answered the question.
I'm challenged. I'll be honest. I was just surprised that Brock Lesnar was brought back. I do think the Raja being promoted on an event that was never going to happen to like get a weird buzz for what? Because that it just didn't make sense. It was just dumb.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. But I think people are just taking this whole thing with Brock being in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, the lawsuit, a little too far for me. But who knows that whole thing. And by the way, Janelle Grant is doing a speaking engagement. I don't know if you saw that. She's going to be doing something in Connecticut on the 19th, speaking about NDAs against silencing abuse survivors. Didn't she sign the papers? And man, I don't know about this Janelle Grant thing. I'm sorry.
I will say the argument isn't about that all this happened, even though of course that's getting out there, and of course that's what's driving it. Her argument is he stopped the payments, and that's why I'm contesting
exactly.
the NDA. So, and now all this other stuff is coming up. So it's when I remember when I first read it, and there is a shock and awe, and there's screenshots of seemingly some evidence to the things, and it's like, oh my god,
yeah,
it's shocking.
I don't doubt that a lot of the stuff that happened in there happened. I don't question that at all. I question what her motivation was.
Mm-hmm.
Was she really just pressured the whole time to, was told she was going to lose her job and all that stuff? I don't know. She admitted in there, she took a lot of presents, and eventually you can say no, but I don't know.
Could she have walked away? Why didn't she walk away if she was eventually? I mean, that's not the only job in the world.
Yeah, and I just wonder if part of the reason she's going out and doing some publicity stuff is because that maybe they're starting to realize that their case isn't as good. And look, you're going to have to go into court and prove motivation on this.
I find it interesting. It's in Connecticut where she has her speaking engagement.
Yeah, that's interesting too. Fascinating stuff. Wow, what a show! Holy cow! We went round the wrestling world.
It was awesome. Sorry.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Come on, Eric.
Own it.
Own
it.
Awesome.
Awesome. I love the Miz. Phil Stamper, thanks to you, sir. Catch him at Trust and Phil and with the Wrestling Revolver and all his great work. And of course, the independent calendar he puts together. Just check him out. Eric Hay is at eHay 300, Coach Rosey, Real Coach Rosey, and Ring Classics. And you can follow me at Mark Hoke Show on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok at The Mark Hoke Show. We'll have some show clips up and all sorts of fun stuff. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week, Las Vegas. Have a great day.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.